Excellent. Well, we are here with our first TADSummit Preview. So what we're doing is we're talking to some of the presenters that will be at TADSummit in Lisbon in November. So we've got Philippe, who is the Chief Innovation Officer at Groupama, which of course is now part of Orange Group, who were recently bought. Now, I met Philippe at the WebRTC Global Summit earlier this year, and he was presenting on granvillage. And that, the telephony call there is Avencall and Zevo. And the two things that really stood out and impressed me in Philippe's presentation was just the very practical approach he took to the innovation, but also is a great example of innovation within a large organization. So they're going to be two of the themes that we're sort of going to run through with this session. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get straight down to the questions. So Philippe, why did you create Granvillage?
Hi. To increase the business of our customer. This is the goal of the Granvillage, because it's better to have healthy customers. I'm talking about their businesses, and you will increase their loyalty.
Nope, that's a good point. Maybe you could provide just a quick summary of what Granvillage is and how it helps Groupama's customers.
Well, Groupama, it's an insurance and banking company. We insure farmers, small and medium enterprise, personal insurance for car, health, house, and farmers are the DNA of our company, founded 100 years ago. What is the difference between an insurance contract in a company, in my company, and another insurance contract in our competitors? Well, the prices and services. So we focus on services to increase the loyalty. Just to understand some problem in France about farmers. Farmers in France fight to survive because their revenues are too small. I'm not talking about vineyards. I'm talking about especially the farmers who produce milk. They sell to big food companies, but if they make cheese, for example, and sell directly their product to tonton dwellers like you and me, they multiply by 3 their revenue. So we decided in 2013 to build a new innovation, a social network for producers of goods and services. The name is Granvillage. This is a social network. It's like a Facebook for the business, but the specialty of this social network, they can post information in their timeline using a simple SMS or call a phone number. This is the innovation. Very simple in their way to connect guys like you and me to buy their products.
Cool, that's clear. Thanks for that, Philippe. So what impact has Granvillage had on your customers?
Well, Granvillage, in France, in the insurance market, I don't know in your country, but it's a war. I mean, we have to provide a better service to avoid to be compared only by price, So we add with your insurance contract, if you are farmers or you are the CEO of a small and medium enterprise, the Granvillage innovation. It will be free and it will be simple for you to increase your business. And of course, if we provide this innovation, you will increase your SEO. I mean, search engine optimization. I could show you an example. One of a company, it's a group of farmers, and well, you have to pay in France for the yellow page. But if you Google the name of these farmers, you will see the Granvillage website on the top.
Excellent.
This is the goal.
Excellent. So it makes it easy to discover using internet search.
Exactly.
Cool.
And you know, the 3G and the 4G, of course, in big town in France, all these features are spread. But if you go 20 kilometers from the center of Lyon, I'm living in Lyon, in the countryside, well, you have only the GPRS and the GSM that's work. The 3G and 4G doesn't work.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I experienced that even close to where I live, and I'm only a matter of half an hour outside New York City, where there's certain locations where you lose everything down to 2.5G. So fully understand that. Now, you said some things that would make the business case maybe a little difficult. You know, a free service. So I'm interested in how you built the business case to justify this investment, because conceptually, I get it. Deliver additional services, but it requires that belief, that step of faith. How did you make that happen?
You know, we are in the third horizon. I mean, I could explain a little bit more about this three horizon that every company have to build in their company. So we have to create the new businesses to avoid to be the next Kodak. To think about that Kodak create the first digital camera, and now they are dead. You understand? So if you don't think about create new businesses, and at the first you have to provide this service in the simple, in the free way, and it could be a very good problem for your future, for your growth.
Great. So it's actually, Groupama makes a positive investment on this sort of third horizon new business to explore, to offer to its customers new ways to expand its business without necessarily having a hard, solid business case. It's all about exploration and discovery of new ways of adding value to the customer.
Exactly. In this horizon, I'm not talking about optimization, innovation. I'm talking about disruptive innovation. Well, you have to test. You have to build 5 projects, and 4 projects will be directly on the trash.
Yep. Yep. No, that's very clear. So how do you plan to expand the use of WebRTC? Because that, of course, is one of the core technologies they're using in granvillage to devices other than tablets. Because at the moment, you restricted it to tablets because it's so easy, because the voice and the video just, well, sorry, the audio just works because it's all pre-configured, I should say.
You know, when you start an innovation, I mean, in this horizon, you have to focus on pains. You know, so many guys, I'm not talking about the geeks like you and me and all the guys that are around this table. They understand that the headset have to be plugged and the microphone is working. Okay. If you want to be sure that this feature will work, the WebRTC, the call button, the click to call button that we built on granvillage native app on tablet work, well, you have to be on tablet, not on desktop, but because in many cases on desktop, if you provide this innovation on many users, not only geeks, you know, well, this feature doesn't cannot work. You understand what I mean? It means that you have to restrict I'm looking for the good word. You have to focus on the user experience and provide only this good user experience. Yeah. And if you think that this point cannot work in this configuration, avoid to install it.
Yeah. No, I agree. To make it just as simple as possible. In fact, for TADHack Global, we have 35 plus locations around the world. We use SyncRTC for our coordination calls, and that's a WebRTC based service. And even the geeks I'm working with sometimes struggle to get the conference calls working because another app or another browser page is grabbing the microphone, or the way the
exactly.
corporate firewall is set up. These are experts in telecoms that are struggling to get WebRTC based services working. So absolutely get what you're saying.
But on tablet, you are sure that this input and output are working.
Exactly, exactly. That's key. You keep it as simple as possible. So I'm interested, because of the success that you've achieved, you've got a lot of engagement in France across a whole range of small, medium businesses. In your presentation you gave, you had some really nice quantified case studies on the material impact you're having on your customers. How did you convince your executive team to make this first step?
Well, innovation, I prefer to call a disruptive innovation or try to create new businesses. In a large company is a really difficult journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very important to convince the CEO and the board that every company, to avoid to be the next Kodak, have to allocate their resource, human resource and budget in the three horizons. Just to explain, the first horizon is the core business. If a company doesn't sell something, the company cannot pay the salaries of their employees. The second horizon is the horizon of incremental innovation. I mean, optimization with less. Next year, you have to do more. You know, the lean management, the IT process, SAP, all the features on the call center are in this horizon. The third horizon, you have to create new businesses. Well, I say with 5 new projects in this horizon, only one will be a succeed. Think that Google invests 70% on the first, 20% on the second, and 10% on the last. Now, you can compare the difference between Kodak and Google company, and now it's very important to inform the CEO and from the CEO to the employees that they understand that this third horizon is very important for the growth of the company, and that's why they can provide some resource. I'm talking about budget, and this budget will be on this third horizon for to create new businesses for the futures for the company.
Perfect. That's great insight in terms of both the positioning and the distribution in budget. If only most corporations did that, it would be a very different world we lived in. So, I mean, that covers some of the innovation principles. So maybe I'll jump on to question 7. In a recent presentation, you mentioned the importance of effectuation. So I wonder if you could just explain that a little bit more, because I think, again, what you're providing is some excellent insights on just the practical realities of innovation within a large company.
You know, if in many university, all the IT engineers are working about some method to build a project in time, in budget, with features and quality. Well, this is many project method for the second horizon, and it's very simple. You have a goal and you have to put all the means in front of you to succeed. In the third horizon, you create an innovation, you don't know what you have to build, and the good image, it's the image of the fridge. Alan, I want to highlight something with all the people. The image of the fridge. If you want to invite your friends for the dinner, and you will make the dinner, Alan. Well, you have 2 ways to do this. The first way is to make the menu, then make the recipe, then go to the shops and buy all the product. And maybe one of your friends doesn't like the fridge, and it could be a disaster. You know what I mean? Well, the second way, and this is the effectuation, this is the method of the third horizon, is to call your friends and share the menu. And maybe one guy will bring the pizza and you will buy the wine, and we will construct together the menu. And this is very different. You will build the partnerships, you know? And this is the way how we built disruptive innovation. We will make pivot. I don't know if it is a very good name in English, pivot. Well, never mind. You will have to change during the project. Maybe the project, the business model could be changed. And at the end, you think about the dinner of your friends. They will be happy because everybody, I'm talking about stakeholders, I mean partnership, they build the product with you.
Exactly, exactly. And they each bring something that they want out of it as well. So everybody is vested, but everybody is getting in that construction of the meal, they're each able to ensure that it's what they like to see. If they like the red wine or the white wine, or they want the steak, they can each make that contribution to the overall pie.
Exactly. And Alan, I forget one thing about the fridge. First, you open your fridge and you see what you have. You know, I mean, what skill you have, what partnership you have, what technology did you test in your precedent project. It's like a Lego spirit, you know, Lego. Okay. Okay. It's like a Lego spirit. Okay. You build some bricks and then you bring these bricks on the new innovation for good services.
Excellent, excellent. And then just to wrap up on this TADSummit preview, just if you could give some clues as to what you're currently working on and hopefully what you'll be able to present in at TADSummit in November.
Well, you know, before granvillage, I was the project manager of another innovation. The name is Groupama, toujours là. It's very easy to go to YouTube and you can write IVR Groupama, toujours là. And you will see a video, it's 2 minutes, and they will explain what we did in this company to avoid IVR, waiting queue, provide GPS, and we did this 6 years ago. Wow. So this is the second two company in the world tried to copy this innovation, but they didn't succeed. So now we are in the second version, and what we could out in this application, in this innovation, to provide again a simple and the best user experience. Well, I will talk to you about just one thing. Could be video, for example, but in a very innovative way. And if we succeed, I will be so proud, if you agree, to highlight this new version on stage in Lisbon.
Excellent, excellent. We can't wait for that. That is excellent, Philippe. Again, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. Great font of knowledge. Looking forward to having you in front of the audience and just seeing the disruptive innovations you're creating within a large organization, which I see as a template for most organizations to copy. So again, Philippe, well done in your leadership on this.
Okay, thank you, and bye.